Finally, the video that you've waited for all fall that time. The video that literally tens of you have requested. This is Elders React to SLINGKNOT. Check. Yeah, we're on business. All right. Hey guys, it's Mike with Become the Night. So sorry it's taken this long to get another video up. As way too many of you have requested, I am doing Elders React to Slipknot. As you can see back here, I got my James Hetfield poster because it's giant, obnoxious, and completely out of place, just like Slipknot. Now, I looked through this video and I'm still trying to figure out why you guys are so obsessed with trying to get me to do this. I'm not sure I 100% get it. But I think it might be more for some of the stuff at the end, but who knows? We'll see. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Oh, for the record, I'm not really a big fan of Slipknot.
Oh my gosh.
What is he saying?
It's pretty much how I feel when I hear him sing.
The Slipknot, man.
Yeah, man.
They are
Fucking
really
Slipknot.
going for it.
They are jumping, boy.
It gives me a headache.
Sucks to be you, Granny. This is fucking mild compared to what you're about to go through.
That's supposed to be music? It sounds like noise to me.
You know what? In this case, I come closer to agreeing with Vera. I know there's definitely musical elements to the music, but I don't know, man. That's that boundary that you start pushing is like, when does it become noise? When is it still musical? I know there's definitely musical elements to it as far as rhythmically speaking. There actually are tones in it, but it's so overdriven and so distorted. At that point, it's just f***ing banging noises. Not that I'm trying to talk shit. I know a lot of people love Slipknot, and for good reason. We'll get more into this in a second.
I can hear father or mother saying, "Is this my child?"
He was the mother.
Wow, I wish I was at this concert.
Yeah, dude. He knows what's up.
Up and down, like, wow.
Oh, thank you. The sanitarium. Step inside and die.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. This particular chorus to this song, I think, is awesome. I mean, it's completely brutal, and I'm not really into the whole gore, brutal thing, like shock value, but I mean, it just makes you just want to frickin' punch shit.
No wonder there's always sick people out there.
That's a lot of head banging.
How much fun was this?
A lot of fun, dude.
Tons of fun, isn't it?
I mean, these guys are basically making the most awesome B-movie ever in a music video.
What are you doing, going around killing everyone and glorifying it?
I don't think I would voluntarily watch this.
Only when we kill you will we glorify it.
Boom. Oh, man.
Love it.
Goodness, God killed us so.
Oh, God.
Guys don't kill now.
But we have to give it 10 for creativity.
Amen. Amen. She's enough of a sweetheart. She can even look at that shit and just be like, gotta say something nice.
They call themselves Slipknot.
Slipknot.
SLINGKNOT.
Are they an American group or are they a foreign group?
They're from Iowa.
They're from another country, okay.
Correction, you're from California, you're from another country, bro.
How would you describe their music?
Oh, is that music? Oh, I didn't realize that was supposed to be music.
Oh!
Noise, shouting.
Very, very dark material.
Pretty heavy metal.
It's hardcore thrash metal.
So
Dude, I'm impressed with how much he actually knows metal. Now, I mean, as we're gonna go into this further, he talks about how his sons, the Fine Brothers, actually got him into metal and reinvigorated his love for music, which is fucking cool. And actually, me and one of my buddies did that for his dad. We got him hooked on metal, and suddenly he's just like all jazzed up about music again and listening to stuff he hadn't listened to in years or had never listened to, and listening to it with a completely different mindset. It's pretty awesome. So my level of happiness is through the friggin' roof for that guy.
How can you identify with a mask when you're looking for a person to identify with?
That's a damn good question. How can you identify with a person in a mask when you're looking for a person to identify with? Here's another question that's associated with that. Why does Link in The Legend of Zelda never talk? When you put a faceless avatar into this media that you're consuming, whether it be a movie, a video game, or a music video, it's easier to put yourself into that scenario because it is faceless. It could be anyone. Why couldn't it be you? It's the same reason they hired Keanu Reeves to play Neo in The Matrix, because he's pretty much faceless.
They're just trying to create a certain image that Kiss had.
At least
Dude, that is actually a very good point. One of the things that I realized about Kiss that was ingenious, and I think it was completely by accident, their outfits are timeless. You look at the Rolling Stones, it's like the Crypt Keeper just walked on stage. It's freaking gross. I mean, hey, they kill it when they go on stage. They do their thing, but oh my gosh, you can see their age. Kiss is almost the same age as they are, but when they get on stage, they're all made up and they're in giant metal suits. So they look just as young, just as hip, and just as awesome as they did the first day they walked out on stage. That is fucking brilliant. And Slipknot actually has the opportunity to do that. Will they? I don't see them having the kind of longevity as Kiss per se. I could be wrong, but there's potential.
it's creative, it's artistic. So I have to give him kudos for that.
Love that lady.
I think it's just awesome theater that goes along with the power of their music.
If you're putting yourself on fire, putting pins in your head, that's all about the music.
The Fine brothers were really smart to put those two comments back to back because their dad was saying, you know, it's just grand theater to go along with their music, and there is some truth in that. But then Vera said, and she comes more from where I'm at, you're putting all these pins in your head, you're doing all these things that are distracting. Is it really all about the music? Would the music be able to stand alone by itself? I think if Slipknot did not have the giant theatrics that they would have, their following wouldn't be nearly as loyal and wouldn't be nearly as large. Is that a bad thing? No. They're not famous solely because they're musicians. They're famous because they put on a great show. And they're going to show something here at the end that I would like to address as well.
Well, we got Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, Lemmy, Motorhead.
Of course, he's just
Deftones,
rattling them off. Like
System
they're
of
like
a
old
Down.
friends.
So there's some controversy with Slipknot that they're one of those bands that when violent crimes are committed, they'll sometimes be blamed for it.
I think it is the cause to a lot of weak-minded young people.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, wait. We have to listen to this guy so I can tell him to shut up too.
I buy into that.
Shut up.
If you're a put together normal person, you could watch this band and nothing would happen. If you're sort of on the edge, it might push you a little bit.
Vera is an extremely insightful lady and very sweet and very honest, and that's why I love her. She's the best. I wish I could give her a giant hug. Vera is not wrong in this statement. If there is someone who is like already kind of tweaked out a little bit and they come across this shit, that could be the last thing to push them over the edge to doing it. But at the same time, if you're really that close to the edge that something like that's going to push you over the edge, I mean, like the person saying that, oh, we burnt your French fries at the fast food restaurant, you know, we need to remake your order. That might push you over the edge too. So.
I have never bought into it. I think certain individuals are going to be violent, period.
Yup. Certain people are going to be violent, period. And it's not the fact that they're just inherently violent. There's something wrong upstairs, man. There really is. And it's correctable. It's able to be dealt with, but you gotta get them the help they need. I would prefer without medication, but if it's gotta be medicated, I mean, it's better to have alive people than dead people. And that's the whole thing. These people who go out and kill people, they're not internally malicious like 99% of the time. 99% of the time, they're just wounded as hell. Things like Slipknot help them, typically. These are people who, aren't quite mentally screwed on right and are really emotionally hurt and don't know how to deal with those emotions, don't know how to interpret those emotions, don't know how to accept those emotions. And they don't have any other place to put them except into stupid, violent crap like this. Now, granted, a lot of times with these people, when they don't know what to do with their emotions, they still wind up being like low-life pieces of shit anyway. But at least they're not hurting people. That's one of the big reasons why I don't get into the shock value thing. It doesn't do anything for me, typically. I mean, unless it's just like the pure raw attitude of it, which I just think is cool. But like the extremeness, the needing to identify with this really weird, twisted thing just doesn't jive with me, man. I'm happy with my emotions the way they are.
Some people who love this type of music consider Slipknot's music to be simple and violent, and some don't care for it. Yet, bands they would say are great, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell the difference.
Probably.
I'm glad they differentiate because that's a pretty dark and dastardly band.
He is the brain trust of this group. No, but in all seriousness, talking about what the Fine Brothers said, he's 100% right. I'm one of those guys. You know, I've shown my mom stuff of like Slipknot caliber where it's just like out of the box crazy. And then I've shown her Iron Maiden and she's like, to her, it's pretty much the same thing. She can't differentiate between the two other than saying one's just noise and one sounds like a gangster hit. God, I love my mom. I love you, Mom. And that kind of pulls me into another tangent here. It's like, metal, by definition, is pushing things to the most extreme as possible. That's what Black Sabbath was in the 70s. Push that shit to 11. Obviously, technology has come a long way. Everyone's trying to figure out how to build a bigger, badder axe and a bigger, badder amp and just an overdrive that's basically just a giant electricity box just freaking hit and explodes. So obviously you have to keep pushing the extremes. You have to go more. There's always another 11. And then that's where you start to lose people like me, because I like the raw power and attitude and passion, but this starts to me to drop away from music. Now, your taste as to where that is probably different from mine, and that's fine. But all I would ask, as a person who is able to defend these types of things for myself, is if you honestly think it's music, try and defend it. I mean, really try and defend it. Not just say, oh, it's music because I say so. I mean, like, with some thought, with some theory, with some history, you know, some sociology, anthropology. Then we can talk.
Types of people do you think listen to this type of music?
Punk kids?
Gang members.
People that are linked into drugs.
I think there's kids that, you know, grow up and they feel disenfranchised from like the in crowd. There was so much conforming in my school. It made me want to do just the opposite.
Yep, 100% right. Going back to the old dude that said, why do they wear masks? How are you supposed to identify with that? That's the entire freaking point. Because you don't want to identify with all the other kids who are conforming. It's its own form of a mask. These guys are wearing masks that are basically a giant middle finger to all of that. Things aren't nice. Things aren't okay. I don't feel like what you're doing is cool. And more specifically, I feel like that by you excluding me, I don't have an identity. They're giving them an identity. That's why they keep it faceless. So the lovely blonde-haired lady got it 100% right. It is counterculture.
The musicians themselves and what they listen to for inspiration is primarily symphonic music.
So there was a study done that proved the stereotype of people who listen to these types of bands was mostly not true. And the genre of music that metal fans share the most in common with is actually classical music when it comes to personal creativity as well as their love and critical appreciation of music.
Really?
You're kidding.
That is a shock.
I don't think it's true.
Fuck you! Fuck you! I don't think that's true. Yeah, so fucking open-minded, Mr. California. All these other people were like shocked to learn that. No offense, but most people on an average normal freaking day don't know a whole hell of a lot about music. If you're a guy who listens to a lot of classical and then listens to a lot of metal, you pick up on these things really quick. There's so many similarities theory-wise that it's totally uncanny. But I mean, that's also because the guys who came after Sabbath was kind of like rock and roll, just overdriven a little bit. The guys that came after Sabbath they were practicing Vivaldi and Paganini and Scarlatti in their free time. You know, like they were shredding it up with some crazy classical guys because the faster it was, the more powerful it was, the more extreme it was. As Michelangelo Badios says, if you got it, flaunt it. That's metal.
So beyond that study, we want to let you know that both of us are actually big metal fans.
Not a huge fan of the Fine Bros per se. I don't hate them, like I said, not a huge fan, but gotta give them some respect for being metalheads. Rock on, Fine Bros.
And we used to love Slipknot. Their first album we still think is really good.
I knew you were weird.
She's the best.
Please come to my church. I will teach you what really good music is.
So
God bless you, man.
last thing, we're gonna show you a clip from a Slipknot concert. And
This
while
is
you're
it.
watching, realize that we went to shows like this when we were younger.
When you
guys
watch
didn't
this,
take off your shirts,
I
did ya?
would love to go to a show like this, man.
It's like mass
Love it.
hysteria.
Not to go, but thing is, if I'm gonna go to a show like this, I'm not going to go because the music's so good. I'm going because it's an all-around experience. Because it's a show.
He's in the pit.
Whoa, they are crazy.
Oh, he's totally. As a father, to find out that my sons went so into this metal, my whole love of live music revived again. You have no idea how much I love that.
I have a little bit of an idea, my friends. I happen to have helped out a friend of mine by doing the same thing. So, dude, heart goes out to you. I'm happy you're back in the game, brother. Final thoughts, old people don't like Slipknot. What a fucking shock. Not gonna lie, tangent really quick. This dude's face is fucking hilarious. Yeah, final thoughts. Yeah, not really a big fan of Slipknot. I understand their appeal. There were a lot of really cool things these adults brought up, and the Fine Bros have a pretty good way of being able to probe people to have like an actual cool conversation. But yeah, Slipknot doesn't really appeal to me that much. I'm sorry if this video wasn't as funny as what you guys were expecting. I mean, honestly, I didn't see a whole lot I really wanted to make fun of because I just found it completely understandable. Just keep in mind, you guys begged me for this. I didn't want to do this. I'm being 100% honest. I did not want to do this video at all. So from me to you, you're fucking welcome. How about you, James? Did you want me to do this video? No, that noise. How about you, James? Did you want me to do this video? No, woohoo! Also, again, I would like to apologize for taking so long for uploading another video. Guys, before Thanksgiving and then after it's been insane in my life right now. I'm not going into details because that's not what this channel is about, but let's just say this past weekend I've had next to no sleep for all good things, but just next to no sleep. I'm exhausted, but you guys have been waiting long enough. You guys have been freaking half begging me to make this video, so I figured I'd just throw the red meat, be like, here you go, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Either way, for those of you that have stuck around, thank you so much. I do love you guys. I love hearing your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comments section. I mean, the only place you could leave your comments, I suppose. Give this video a like. Let's shoot for 1 million subscribers! Like I said, next to no sleep, I'm starting to lose it. Anyway, enough of my babble. Love you guys. As always, I will see you in the next motherfucking video. Rock on.